Hello, literature lovers. Today we are going to talk about Jack London. He was an American novelist, journalist, and social activist, a pioneer of commercial fiction and American magazine. He was one of the first American authors to become an international celebrity and earn a large fortune from writing. He was also an innovator in the genre that would later become known as science fiction. His most famous works include The Call of the Wind and White Fang, both set in the Klondike Gold Rush, as well as the short stories To Build a Fire, An Odyssey of the North, and Love of Life. He also wrote about the South Pacific in stories such as The Pearls of Parley and Heaven. London was part of the radical literary group The Crowd in San Francisco and a passionate advocate of unionization, workers' rights, socialism, and eugenics. He wrote several works dealing with these topics, such as his dystopian novel The Iron Heel. His non-fiction exposed the people of the ABC, War of the Classes, and Before Adam. London died in November 22nd, 1916, in a sleeping porch in a cottage in his ranch. London had been a robust man but had suffered several serious illnesses, including scurvy in the Klondike. Additionally, during travels on the Snark, he and Chairman picked up unspecified tropical infections and diseases, including yaws. At the time of his death, he suffered from dysentery, late stage alcoholism, and uremia. He was in extreme pain and taking morphine. London's ashes were buried on his property not far from the Wolf House. London's funeral took place on November 26, 1916, attended by close friends, relatives, and workers of the property. In accordance with his wishes, he was cremated and buried next to some pioneer children under a rock that belongs to the Wolf House. After Chairman's death in 1955, she was also cremated and then buried with her husband in the same spot that her husband chose. The grave is marked by a mossy boulder. The buildings and property were later preserved as Jack London State Historic Park in Glen Allen, California. His Not only his other works, but stories were also quite famous and really got critical acclaim. In fact, according to critic Maxwell Gesmer, called The Call of the Wind a beautiful prose poem, editor Franklin Walker said that it belongs to on a shelf with Walden and Huckleberry Finn, and novelist E.L. Doctorow called it a modern parable, his masterpiece. The Iron Heel is an example of a dystopian novel that anticipates and influenced Orwell's 1984, London's socialist politics are explicitly on display here. The Iron Heel meets the contemporary definition of soft science fiction. That's the statue of Jack London that was erected. The Star Rover is also a science fiction published 1915. That's all for today. I hope you must have got an overall perspective. Do share your views in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Discuss it with your friends. Talk about it. Keep reading books. That's the only way you can survive. Thanks for listening.